Hey everyone, RC Red Baron here. Excited today to bring you another Nitroplanes.com airplane. This one's the Airfield P-40 Warhawk electric 55-inch wingspan with rotating retracts and brushless motor. This one is the ready-to-fly version, so it includes a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter, 2.4 gigahertz receiver, and the only thing that it does not come with is a battery charger. So it's important to note that while it does come with the battery, there's no charger for it. Alright guys, I'm going to do some of us more experienced pilots and builders a little favor. I'm going to give a quick review before I start building this. Now I realize it's already built, so obviously I've already done it, but instead of putting this at the very end of the video and making some of you wait through the entire thing, I'm going to show you and go over just a couple of quick things that you may need to know without actually having to see the entire build video. So one of the couple of key features, and I talk about this in a minute, is it is flap ready. It has a little bag of extra tools. It's got your rods, your horns, even a spot in the bottom for your servos to go in so that you can cut in flaps. And it requires only one cut of the foam, and it's actually already got a spot on the wing where you slide the cut. Everything else has notches and everything. So the only thing you're going to need if you decide to put flaps on this is your actual servos. Even the transmitter is already ready for a flap switch being on channel 6. So you're ready to go if you want flaps on this thing. The other key thing, the inside is the battery hatch. The battery uses the long bullet connector, as if you can see here. You may want to put Deans on it. That's one thing. The CG should be at 85 millimeters from the leading edge. Other than that, she's a straightforward build. If I wasn't doing the film and the video, you're talking for somebody experienced that has built several planes before, 30 minutes. And that's basically just to do the small connections. If you haven't built one before and you're going by the instructions, they are a little limited. It might take you an hour to 2 hours to try to get through everything and read the manual going back and forth. Okay, I've got everything unboxed and everything laid out on the table here, and I just want to point out just a couple of things so that everybody knows a few key features of the airplane that you may be curious about. It does come with a nice three-bladed prop. This thing is a 13x9, and it's for an electric, so if you need a replacement or you want to do something different, it's a 13x9. It does come with a three-bladed spinner, the nice red, so that way it looks good on there. Now the wing, I found it very interesting, and I might do this later as an add-on. But for your ailerons, servo's already installed, your swiveling retracts are already installed, but it's got a cutout for flaps, and it's even got little connections where your control arms go, and it's even got a spot here for your servo to be fit nice and neat right in. They also include the control horns that fit on here as well. So it does not come with flaps already installed and cut, but they give you the very, very simple option. You make a single cut along this edge, install your arm, install your servo, and you've got flaps. Okay, so when you open up your little package of nuts and bolts, you're going to find one little baggie with 3 very long screws in it. They're Phillip head screws, and they even include the screwdriver so that you don't even need to get your own tools. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my horizontal stabilizer on. There's a spot for 2 long screws to go in. I'm going to go ahead and get those put in first. Bolt those down. Then I'm going to put my vertical stabilizer on. Now there's already a control horn in the rudder, so I'm going to go ahead and tilt this back a little bit so that I can slide my rudder down past my elevator. You should just go right down there. Fairly simple. It's a good tight fit. And there we go. And then in the bottom, there's actually a place for the 3rd long screw. We're going to slide that up and in there. Okay, so now I've got my horizontal and my vertical on, Now I'm going to find the small bag that has a single control arm in it, and that is my elevator control arm. I'm going to go ahead and get that installed real quick. So now one wing, I just slid it right through, making sure that I ran my wires through the opening that there was. And you'll find another bag with 2 medium length screws, and those are going to go right inside of here. Now again, remember, I'm doing this without even looking at the instruction manual. That's how pretty straightforward this build is. Okay, so I've got both wings bolted and the wires run into the main fuselage, and I just wanted to show you the receiver is labeled channels 1 through 6. This is very familiar for those of you that use a Futaba system. It's aligned the exact same way, 1 for ailerons, 2 for elevators, 3 for the throttle, etc. So when you pull your wires out for your wings actually have 2 wires each, 1 for the aileron and 1 for your retracts. And they are labeled channel 5 and channel 1. Our wings installed, the back end installed. And now we just need to put the front on. Now, before you tighten this down really tight where you can't move this still, I recommend you place your spinner and try to get it aligned to make sure you know exactly where the blades go. Because it looks like just a perfect fit in the right spot. If this is turned too far one way, I won't be able to get this, it won't be able to secure and get on there nice and smooth. So we're going to want to try to center it and find the exact spot. And it looks like it's just right there. So now I can go ahead and get this tightened down. I'm using the screwdriver it came with. And she's free spinning just a little bit, but as I go slower and slower, it actually starts to tighten up just a little bit, and the grooves on the back of the spinner and the blade actually start grabbing and allow me to tighten it all the way down. See, and she's already starting to get pretty tight. There we go. Double check the spinner again. That looks good. Now the little bag was inside with the spinner. Those are for the 3 screws to hold the nose on. I'll just slide each one of those in. Okay, so I've turned on the power to get the retracts to pop out so I can get it up off its belly and not scratch it up as much. So the next thing to do is go ahead and get my control rods installed, like for my ailerons, and then connect the back as well. So I'm going to get those connected. Okay, I am pretty much done. I've connected my rods to my ailerons, my vertical and my horizontal stabs. Those are all interconnected now. I've put power to the system. That all seems to work. I've tested my left and right up and downs and rudders, tested the motor. There we have it, the P-40 Warhawk all put together. The next thing to do is take it out on the road, do a little bit of taxi testing, make sure she's driving fairly straight for a tail dragger. And then it's time to go on to a new video of it flying. Thank you for joining me today and putting together the P-40 Warhawk from Nitroplanes.com, the Airfield version. Very nice looking model.